Hey everybody, so we nerded out last night and I took my son and one of his friends to this traveling Dungeons and Dragons show. They both like D&D and I thought it would be something fun and different to do. Now what this is it is like an interactive D&D show and I don't know how many cities it goes to. I don't know how long it tours. I don't know if how often they change like the story. So no spoilers because I want you to have fun. So, but I am going to give you a kind of a quick rundown of some of our thoughts in case it comes to your town. You might want to check it out. So here's the deal. All adult pricing. There's cheaper prices for younger guys. Both the kids were 13 and 14, so they fit into the adult category. After taxes and the fees and stuff, it worked out to be about $45 a person, and that was for the regular ticket. Now they did have a VIP ticket, and the VIP ticket came with this special like keepsake bracelet, and it got you a discount at the merch shop at the end, and maybe a couple other things, but those are the two things that really were like, oh. One thing that was kind of cool about it is that you didn't have to go at your designated time. You could apparently go whenever you want to. But I also don't know exactly how that would work, and I'll explain that in just a second. I still feel like you're still stuck within certain time groups, and we'll kind of talk about the flow of it a little bit, but again, no spoilers because it takes the fun out of it. So a little bit more expensive than going to the movies, but not that much more. All in all, I mean, online it said it takes about an hour. I was thinking it was like an hour-long show that you got to go through, and that exactly wasn't it. But they were right that it did take about an hour to get through it, maybe give or take. I didn't exactly time it, but that seems about right. So what we did is we went in. We had a 5:30 slot. We went in. I got a little bit early to make sure that my digital, you got an app. You got to open your QR codes or whatever. Wanted to make sure that everything was working fine and that we didn't miss our slot. So it was easy, super easy to get in. I will say that what they did is it reminds me a little bit of like Spirit Halloween, where they take over big spaces like of abandoned whatever was there was abandoned, so they just kind of rent it out for the week or 2 weeks or whatever it is. This place does the same thing. So this happened to be in an old Bye Bye Baby. I don't know if you know what this like a Babies R Us that was attached to Bed Bath and Beyond. They were part of the same parent company. So it's a big footprint, right? So you walk in and they've taken up the whole place as far as I can tell. They have everything blocked off pretty good. All the employees that you deal with, the characters, were all in character. They're all very nice. They all played up, no matter what you're talking to them about it. They all stayed in character the whole time. They did a really nice job. So we got checked in with the barmaid or whatever she said she was, and we waited our turn for our group to get started. They do have some like bigger, nice props that you can like take like professional photos with, or you can go on and buy them, but we didn't do any of that stuff. Like giant dragon skulls with smoke and stuff coming out. It's really cool. Some people dressed up. You saw adults and kids dressed up. Saw some like younger adults, younger than me, adults, like almost like a date night. Like people were really having fun with this. So we got in our group, and it's kind of loud in there, so I couldn't really hear what our guide was saying. But she was kind of trying to tell us what was going to happen. So we get to our first room, and our first room is you have to pick which class of character you're going to be. You have, oh God, don't quote me on it. You have wizard, mage, like a warrior, and something else. Okay, it's whatever. And so since we did the just the basic package and not the VIP package. Oh, VIP package was like an extra $20 on top of it. So instead of $45 per person, it would have been like 65 or 70 with tax. And I was like, nah, we're good. we're good with the paper bracelet. So think about like when you're underage and going into bars, is that kind of bracelet. But there's something in it because you're going to use it for these scanners. Okay, so you go into this first front door and there's a character in there, and he's really talking it up and having a good time, and he's talking, and then there's like some automated stuff talking about the different classes, and you get to pick your class. Does it matter what class you pick? Not really, but it's fun. It's all part of the show. So you pick out which class you're going to be. My son was a mage. His friend and I decided we were going to be wizards. So all kind of in the wizarding world. If I were to do it again, all three of us would have been different characters. And I'll get to that in a minute. So that's my suggestion. If you do it, you're doing it with a big party, try to get as many variety of characters as you can get. So they go through this big show, and it's just fine. And then you go into another room, and in this room, like the decorations and stuff look really, really nice. This one has three actors in it, and they're setting up the scenario of what's going on in the beginning of your quest. And they do a really good job, right? They must do the exact same back and forth and blocking and how they're moving and stuff 100 times a day. So they got this down, and yeah, they did a good job. So after their spiel about what you're doing, you go on your quest. And so you go through this special place, and then you're on your quest. And then they have a giant room filled with tasks. So this is where it was different than what I thought it was going to be. So I thought it was going to be tasks, but show all the way through. It wasn't. So now you're in this big room, and it's kind of, you do your own thing, but you have a task, you have something you're supposed to do. Again, I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't know if it's going to change. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I will tell you that in this giant room, like all decorated and stuff, there are activities to do. Okay. And the activities were fine. I just think they all looked good. Some of them, I think, the functionality fell a little short, fell a little flat. So that's one of my gripes, is that it looked great. The actors are great. And there are actors in there, characters, to help you if you had problems. Like, we did have a question while we're in there, and once you did your quest and you got whatever you're supposed to get, the thing you're supposed to get, you told one of those people, and they allowed you to go on your next quest, your next journey. Like I said, it looked great. There were probably 10 different activities to do within this large area. And yeah, some of them just didn't work well. Like, the functionality didn't work the way it was intended. And so we did what we were supposed to do, and we moved on to the next room. The next room was really cool. This is like the finale, when you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. And you go into this room, and this just giant screen, and it's just you and your party. And I think they could probably get like 6 people in there, and you have this big digital fight with something. And once you win, you're victorious, and you go out, you tell the guy you're victorious, and then they usher you to the shop. So once you got into the shop, you scanned your thing to the lady, and a lady told you how many XP you got, and you got to roll a D20, and whatever you rolled is what percentage off you got from the merch shop. So really, when you look back at that VIP percentage off at the merch shop, you're going to get one anyway. So I don't know if you could have been like, hey, I get 10% off with my VIP, plus I get 15% off for rolling the D20. I bet you don't. So there's that. I personally don't see the value in the VIP. I was fine with the paper versus the fancy cuff. That's really the only thing you're going to walk away with. So anyway, you get to the merch shop, and they do have really cool stuff. Like, they have the latest and greatest like D&D guides. They got some cool like chests that you can put your stuff in, t-shirts, backpacks. I mean, all sorts of really cool stuff. Of course, it's expensive. I mean, it's expensive, period. So I mean, you're not you're not going there looking for your cheap stuff. They did have a bar set up, and I was surprised that they didn't give you access to the bar and stuff area before your show, but they had like a full-on bar where you can get themed drinks. And I've seen online where you got themed treats. I didn't see those. They may have been like behind the bar and hidden or somewhere, but I didn't see it. So they had like picnic tables set up. It felt like an outdoor market. Like I said, it was decorated really, really well. They did a good job on that. Yeah, so we looked around, we didn't buy anything, and then we headed out. So asking the boys what they felt, how they enjoy it. In short, they similar to me, is that they thought it was really cool. It was a really cool concept, but that some of the activities fell short. They said it was crowded, and I didn't get that. I think they just didn't like. Sometimes you had to wait to get onto an activity to do that activity. There were probably 15-ish people in our party when we processed in. I don't know. They're just kids, and they don't want to wait for anything. They wanted to have the full run of the place, and it's just not reality. But besides that, I think they had a pretty good time. Not an amazing time, but a pretty good time. Like I said, some kids and stuff did get dressed up. They did not, although they're big D&D fans. So they knew all the different characters and stuff. And some, I mean, it was fun. It was fun. So I asked them would they do it again, and they basically hemmed and hawed around about it. And they're like, maybe if they had different activities, like they wouldn't want to do this one again. But all in all, like, I wouldn't give it 5 stars. I would give it like, yeah, it was like 3 stars, 3.5 stars. It really was a good concept. And it was fun. It was a fun activity. Got to run around and do stuff. And it really, although they thought it was crowded, it really wasn't crowded. The decor and the employees made it. Like if it weren't for them, like the story and stuff, like the acting, it really would have fell flat. It would have felt more like a D&D playground, and that's certainly not worth your $45 to $65 a head. But yeah, all in all, that was pretty okay. Worth checking out, but taper your expectations. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't know if they're coming to a town near you, but you can just look it up again. It's a D&D, Dungeons & Dragons, and this one is called the Immersive Quest. Now, I don't know if the Immersive Quest part changes names, like maybe with different shows. I don't know, but that's where it is right now. And yeah, all right, talk to y'all later. Bye.